Have massive breaking news. Israel just launched their biggest attack since the start of this war on Lebanon. Over 700 people in Lebanon have been wounded, 89 have been killed, including 12 medics, and they're calling for all physicians and doctors to run to nearby hospitals to do anything that they can help. And you might be wondering, well, wasn't there a ceasefire that literally was brokered yesterday for 2 weeks? Well, that's what we all thought, until Benjamin Netanyahu said that Lebanon is not a part of this, which completely contradicts the whole thing, because the Prime Minister of Pakistan, one of the guys who pretty much drafted this whole thing, said, yeah, Lebanon was a part of this. So now Iran is extremely pissed off, and now they're stopping tankers from entering the Strait of Hormuz. They are calling this a grave violation because, according to Reuters, Hezbollah stopped attacking. Lebanon stopped attacking as early as Wednesday morning, but now Israel has just launched one of the biggest attacks we have seen. In the footage coming out of Lebanon, I can't post it all here, but you kind of get the idea. I mean, it is just horrific. Okay, we have massive breaking news.
Am I tripping? Or does all of this look all too familiar? Everything that we see is eerily close to exactly what the Bible says. And a lot of people still don't see it. Those who are in positions of leadership can't be trusted. And it's not about what they say or put on paper. It's about what they do and what actually happens. Prophecy is coming true. Now, of course, the Bible tells us in Matthew, the 24th chapter, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. All these are the beginning of sorrows. See, we see the escalation. It's not quite the end yet. However, we're watching this unfold in real time. Brothers and sisters, we got to build tonight. There's been a lot of breaking news. Y'all know how we do. We bring nothing but the truth. As you enter the broadcast, hit the like button and share. Let's get to it.
They working against us. They hate our souls. They hate us. They hate our righteous indignation. They hate the exhortation that dwells in us. They hate our love for the They hate our conviction. They hate the fact that we repentant. They hate the fact that we're truthful, honest, and bold. They hate our courage. Them devils hate us. We're not finna line ourselves up with these weirdos and freaks, but these weirdos and freaks. They working against us. They hate our souls. Weirdos and freaks. But these weirdos and freaks, they working against us. They hate our souls. Nubreed.
Ephesians 6:10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, and in the power of his might put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Peace and blessings to everybody joining this evening. I see you brothers and sisters rolling in. As you enter, make sure you hit the like button. I see Jay Amando in the building, Stefan the Messenger, Mike Davis, Last Writers in the building, Golden C. It's good to have y'all present. It's always an honor to build amongst the living. And I'm talking about those who are spiritually living. Look, none of this surprises any of us anymore, what's taking place, at least those who can see. So the ceasefire is over. The Strait of Hormuz is pretty much shut back down, which means gas is going to continue to rise. Groceries are going to continue to rise. Those shipping lanes are now shut down after just 8 hours of a ceasefire. So the escalations continue. And this is not good for Babylon, aka America. It's really not. Now, of course, we got to go over the news because it really tells a story that is oh so familiar. It was all written, brothers and sisters. It was all but written. Let's get to it.
And there's a lot of bad faith negotiation and a lot of bad faith, propaganda going on. I think this comes from a legitimate misunderstanding. I think the Iranians thought that the ceasefire included Lebanon, and it just didn't. We never made that promise. We never indicated that was going to be the case. What we said is that the ceasefire would be focused on Iran, and the ceasefire would be focused on America's allies, both Israel and the Gulf Arab states. That said,
you notice every time America calls for a ceasefire, Israel hits whatever country they're going to hit with the largest attack that they hit them with. Y'all notice that? Every single time, it'll be a full-scale attack. They're running the same playbook over and over again. And see, consequences come for these type of actions. The book of Luke 21 and 25 says, and there shall be signs upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, men's hearts failing for fear. See, a lot of people right now can tell something is off. Everyone is uneasy. Something's just not right. People are not the same anymore. Why? Because there's a fire being kindled. The Most High's wrath is coming, and this is coming by fire. Old School Rules, thank you for the support. Proverbs 25:19, confidence is an unfaithful man. In time of trouble, it is like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint. That's right. Right now, these people are showing their true colors, and they've been showing it.
Just like I predicted, the ceasefire is over and Strait of Hormuz is back to being closed because within 2 hours of the ceasefire, our greatest ally decided, let's go try to commit genocide. And 100 times in 10 minutes. Then they went on TV and bragged about it.
Largest strike against Hezbollah terrorists since the beginning of Operation Roaring Lion. In just 1 minute, the IDF struck 100 Hezbollah military targets.
To no one's surprise, it was not military targets. It was civilians and civilian infrastructure. Now, in a credible and logical society, we would cut our greatest ally the fuck off and be like, we hanging you out to dry since you try to just hang us out to dry. We agreed to a ceasefire. Strait of Hormuz is finally back open. The world can start flowing again. And what do? Kill civilians. Which, y'all ain't new to this, you true to this. This is what you guys do. No surprise, but now the United States should surprise them and be like, yeah, no more help, no more funding, no more troops. Good luck against all of West Asia. If you die, you fucking die. Like I predicted, Trumpstein is now freaking the fuck out because he thought he was moving, grooving, vibing, sliding to victory. And everyone is letting him know that he lost. And then he saw the CNN headline saying Iran is bragging about that they won. And so now they're telling you, don't believe your eyes and ears. We threw the 10-point peace plan in the garbage, even though it says right here that it's a workable basis on which to negotiate.
Correct the record. The Iranians originally put forward a 10-point plan that was fundamentally unserious, unacceptable, and completely discarded. It was literally thrown in the garbage.
So I guess I'm just confused on what the point of this statement was, because if he received the 10-point peace plan, said it was believed to be workable and negotiate, what 10-point peace plan are you talking about that they threw in the trash? These motherfuckers have the audacity to complain. We weren't informed about the ceasefire until too late. Yeah, bitch, because y'all ruined every single negotiation deal. Because you guys are genocidal maniacs that are chasing a greater Israel that will destroy the rest of the world and drag everybody down. But you don't give a fuck because you think the Messiah is going to come back. Dickhead. Hell is hot, and I hope all y'all dress cold because that is where you are heading. Stupid bitch is going to act confused. Well, this doesn't involve us versus Hezbollah. Yeah, yes, the fuck it does. You see this? The Pakistani PM, the one that is leading negotiations, including Lebanon. You fucking genocidal freaks.
Unity and territorial integrity of Lebanon. We condemn in the strongest terms Israel's continued military aggression in southern Lebanon.
This was a 10-point peace plan that was agreed upon. We know it was agreed upon because Trump came and said out loud that it was agreed upon. Now, you guys are all pissed because it puts Iran in a more powerful position than it started. You didn't have to start the fucking war. Strait was already open. They wasn't making $2 million per ship, and everything could have been moving, grooving, vibing, sliding copacetically. But instead, you went in people's fucking business and you thought this was going to be an easy lick, and it didn't end up fucking being that. So since they broke the ceasefire, leave them out to fucking dry. 0 troops, 0 weapons, 0 money funded to this piece of shit place. Just like I predicted, the ceasefire.
And you know, America is not going to do that. They're under a certain obligation. They're under a prophetic obligation to serve their masters. And it's a reason why they're ramping everything up and they continue to be warmongering, genocidal maniacs. There's a reason for that. The spirit of the devil is on them. And the reason why is because prophecy must be fulfilled. These people don't know anything about peace. Now, I'm going to give y'all a very real scenario of what is going to take place based on what just happened here. This is what, the third ceasefire that was broken? Somebody shared a great scripture right on time. 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Like clockwork. When these people screaming peace and safety, you already know it's going downhill. You already know what type of timing they on. So right now, what we're looking at is this is turning into a bigger war than it already was now. Allow me to explain. See, Israel versus Hezbollah in Lebanon, they're actively fighting right now. Now, Iran is going to be forced to back Hezbollah, but right now they're avoiding direct war for 2 weeks. Why? Because they're arming up, preparing. Let's just call it what it is. Now, the U.S. supports Israel, but they're not trying to get dragged back into the war, but they're going to have to. Because guess what? Israel is their only allies, and they have spiritual obligations. As I said before, this is all prophetic. See, those people over there across the pond pretending to be somebody they're not. You know, when the Bible says the synagogue of Satan, I know the blasphemy of them who say they are Jews, but are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. You know, those people over there, the warlocks over there, they know what time we in right now. They know that judgment is coming soon. So guess what? They have to ramp up all these wars. They have to keep things going. They have to continue to escalate. Why? Because these people are willing to wipe out everybody and everything if it means that they can keep control and power. They're self-destructive maniacs being controlled by Satan. They're Moloch worshiping Satanists. 500 DOP. I'm not sure what DOP is. I believe that's $100 in America, but I thank you for the support. It says Santanu is manifesting the Great Tribulation by himself and accelerating the New World Order. So learn how to survive when all this current system collapses and lean to the Most High. Absolutely. Now, I'm not sure who said, oh, I get you, Satan Yahoo. I didn't know who that was. Okay, Satan Yahoo. Yeah, I got you. It's manifesting a great tribulation. Exactly. You're right, 100%. Thank you for the support, my brother. But these people, they have no choice but to follow the bidding of Moloch. And what it was a huge sacrifice of civilians. That's what just happened. They just gave up more souls to civilians over there in Lebanon. Now, this is going to escalate a lot faster than it was now. Why? What just happened was a tripwire. For sure. Because now y'all going to be able to say, man, how did Breed know exactly what's going to happen? I'm reading the Bible. So now I know I can look at what's happening geopolitically and piece this together real easy. So now Hezbollah, they're going to end up launching some type of strike inside Israel. Israel, probably more than likely, they're going to hit Lebanon again. And then eventually Lebanon or Iran is going to take some more direct strikes towards Israel. You know, Israel, well, Iran may not retaliate directly. They may be doing it through proxies, how they've been fighting, which has been working for them. And then guess what? The U.S. gets forced into the region again. See that? That's the playbook. Now, you just got more countries involved. You just cost more lives. And now it's really no trust. And now at this point, there will be no more talks of any ceasefire. So it ain't nothing but bombs dropping from here on out. That's just how it has to play out. Price is going to continue to escalate. And here's the issue. Here's the real big problem. Our threat is not a bomb being dropped on America right now. Our threat is what's going to happen inside of America when the prices continue to rise. When oil is like $300 a gallon. When people can't afford food on their table. That's when it's going to get real. We ain't seen nothing yet. When you start hearing them purge horns and there is every man for themselves out here because we haven't taken the right steps, and I'm talking about as a whole, to prepare for what's coming, that's when you're going to see the book of Esdras jumping off the page. That's when you're going to see similar to what happened in Flavius Josephus, jumping off the page. That's when it's going to get real. This war continuing like this. Man, I tell you.
We have some news right now as Donald Trump declares world peace. This is what Lebanon looks like this morning following strikes by Israel. Despite Trump's claim that the Middle East will soon be at peace, Israel continues to strike Lebanon. As they say, Lebanon is not part of the deal. But that's not all. This morning, a key east-west pipeline, according to the Financial Times, was struck in Saudi Arabia by drones. And overnight, Israel was struck by Iranian missiles, as well as other shooting happening in the Middle East and the Gulf region. This ceasefire between the United States and Iran is so tenuous, and it is so limited. It does not apply to the entire Middle East, and we're seeing the impacts of it this morning. Donald Trump is declaring that this is a time for world peace. That's what he said on Truth Social overnight. But the realities of it on the ground are anything but. And we may continue to see some strikes in the next several days as this peace deal is somewhat implemented. But the operations of Israel in Lebanon continue, and we're likely to see more strikes rather than less in parts of the Middle East right now. Spread the word, follow for more.
Yep. And the results of all of that is oil prices are going to spike at this point. Gas in the U.S. is going to continue to go up. Supply chains are going to get downright shaky. And all of the markets are going to react fast. Yep. And you know what? Babylon is falling. Babylon is falling. And you know what? Israel is helping it fall. Let me read a scripture to y'all so we can understand why I said all of this is written before. I want to go to the book of Habakkuk, and it says, and this is 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, though it tarry, wait for it, because it shall surely come. See? The Most High says the visions of these prophets will surely come. The judgment by fire, it will surely be here. Gladiator, thank you for the support. He says blessings. Him and his girlfriend just had a baby. All praises, brother. Congratulations. It is going to get serious. And guess what? Americans cannot see it, although it was written and it's unfolding right before our eyes. And guess what? They can't put a Band-Aid on this. They just cannot put a Band-Aid on this. But guess what? The pride and arrogance, Revelations 18:7. She saith in her heart, I sit as a queen. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day. See, because of the pride, the power in Babylon, that's a sudden downfall. Oh, we're going to look at it incrementally, but when it hit, it's going to hit. You're looking at the makings of a third world country. Why? Because the synagogue of Satan is bringing down everyone around it. Revelations 18:10 says, alas, alas, the great city Babylon, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. That collapse is coming. And you can see it because no matter how you slice this, every time we think it's going to ease up, we see that it's just escalated further. Now, it would be great if America just fall back and mind their business and don't get involved, but they can't do that. I just told y'all exactly what's going to happen and why they're going to be back in the region. And that's how it's going to go. Mark my words. Isaiah 47:8 says, thou that art giving the pleasures, I shall not sit as a widow. These two things shall come to thee in a moment. See, Right now, it's all luxury. We think everything is sweet. It's luxurious here in America, right? When luxury comes, that's when people are blind to judgment. And that's what's happening right now. That's what's happening right now.
But I will say,
and watch Fox News admit that this war, Fox News is going to admit that this war has not helped America. And not only that, but everything they set to do, they was unsuccessful. Peep it.
Say that the president's demands, we have not reached any of those objectives. I have full confidence that the president is going to find some way to make this happen. But he said that we want to dismantle all major nuclear facilities. That has not happened. The end of uranium enrichment on the soil, they're still enriching. The transfer of the enriched uranium stockpiles out of Iran, that hasn't happened. The acceptance of intrusive international inspections, they're still not willing to do that. And they have not suspended their ballistic missiles program. They're still firing them off to stop the production of the long-range missiles. That's just a few of them on the president's proposal. The question is the president using this 2 weeks to give our soldiers a break, a rest, to see if we can get this ultimately done? We'll see. But I will say that the president's demands, we have not reached any of those objectives.
Wow. Fox News is even letting you know all the objectives that the U.S. military set forth to do failed. Only thing that has happened as we, the American citizens, are suffering for his bad decisions. And now, look, you got some people crashing out, man. Y'all don't know if y'all heard about this massive fire off in California where somebody set one of the toilet paper factories. I believe it was Scott's Toilet Paper. Man, a 1.2 million square foot warehouse in Ontario, California, set the blaze. I mean, he's been caught for it and everything like that. But see, people are getting fed up and not getting paid. People are not making enough to live, and they're doing this hard work. And people are starting to really burn these damn buildings down. He recorded himself doing it. He said, look, y'all not paying us. Hey, we just gonna burn this down.
Should have paid us enough to fucking live. You know, we may not get paid enough to fucking live, but these bitches dirt cheap. All you had to do was pay us enough to live. All you had to do was pay us enough to fucking live. All you had to do was pay us enough to live. There goes your inventory.
Listen, man. When you start seeing stuff like this, we talking about 1.2 million square feet. Listen, y'all. This is only the beginning in America, man. Because it's just going to get worse. Jeremiah 50:23 says, how is the hammer of the whole world, of the whole earth, cut asunder and broken? We talking about all the superpowers are going to collapse. And those who are watchful, we see it. Oh man, I can feel it in the air. Yo, the people are about to get fed up with this because they're going to have nothing else to eat but the rich. Second Esdras 9:1 says, measure thou the time diligently. When thou seest part of the signs pass, then shalt thou understand. You got to be tapped in and get the sign recognition. You got to get the sign recognition, man. People are beginning to really change their whole strategy in Babylon. Yeah, the hammer is here. People are fed up with this. You know, I was thinking, and you know, we know not the day nor the hour the end is coming. And I used to speculate on when this could possibly happen. When I look at what's going on globally and how the momentum is changing and how the satanic elite been moving, they seem extremely desperate to me. And it's like they on almost a rush to start World War III. And so it makes me believe that we may be a lot closer than what we suspect. How many of y'all can feel what I'm talking about? It just seems like we can be a lot closer. It's time to get right with the Most High. It's time to confront whatever demons you got and start fighting them. It's time to confront them demons you got and fight them. Because something is amiss. Truly.
We have some news right now. Complete chaos has broken out in the Middle East regarding the ceasefire or lack thereof between Israel, Iran, United States, and Lebanon. Why? Because we're now learning, according to CNN, that there was likely no written document or ceasefire agreement between any of the parties. So no one knows what the actual agreement even is. Iran says it includes Lebanon. Israel says it doesn't. The United States, Caroline Leavitt, says it doesn't. Israel has launched some of its strongest attacks on Lebanon to date today, as Netanyahu says that this ceasefire is not the end, but merely a stop on this war. The United States, according to Reuters, is continuing to deploy American troops to the Middle East as we speak. And Caroline Leavitt today at her White House press conference couldn't even answer who controls the Strait of Hormuz. Right now, it's completely closed, as I reported earlier. Why? Because Israel won't stop bombing Lebanon. And so you have a complete mess. I don't know if this is what Trump means by the art of the deal, but it doesn't look like there really is much of a deal in place at the moment. Since the start of the so-called ceasefire, 154 projectiles have been fired by Iran alone, and plenty more are fired by Israel. So we'll see what happens.
Second Esdras 15:15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled. Because of this war, the cities shall be troubled. Because of their pride, civil unrest will break free. It's all because of their pride. And I'm talking about on both sides. Look, I see a lot of people glazing Iran. I don't give a damn about them either. They worship a false god. I see a lot of people jumping ship, leaving Jesus to go to Muhammad. I serve Christ as the scriptures have written. I'm not dealing with Christian nationalists or fake pagan Christianity. However, those people over there, they got pride too. They're not pulling back either. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Them Iranians, them Middle Easterns, they don't give a damn about you and me. That's not, listen, them ain't our people and they don't care. And if you don't know, if you know anything about history, let me be very, very clear about this. Muhammad, he had 700 black slaves. He was a warmonger and a child molester. Muhammad was, and he plagiarized the Quran. Just so that I'm clear, this is where I stand. So when it talks about their pride, just understand, ain't none of them ish to me, or should be to our people. Let's just be clear about it. Those Middle Easterns, they put us on auction blocks too. They had us in captivity too. The truth is they're being used to judge each other. They're being used to judge each other. And they both full of pride, and we're both caught up in the middle of it. Truthfully speaking, we should have our own nation. We should have our own landmass that we reside on, outside of their damn politics. That's the mentality we should have. But what's happening is they're clashing to set us free. They're clashing to set us free. We're not about to, get with whoever judges Babylon. No, because they're going to be judged too. We got next up. Foundational Black Americans, children of the Most High, the real biblical Israelites, we got next up. Let's be clear about that. And we hope you rip each other to shreds, because the Most High gonna make a way for us. At least those who are being watchful and mindful of the times and moving accordingly.
I'll have another update for you soon. Follow along for more.
And Ontario police now saying an employee who worked inside that warehouse is now under arrest.
That fire literally lit up the night sky as flames tore through the Kimberly-Clark warehouse. This is on Hellman Avenue. The warehouse filled with paper products, making a small fire into a massive inferno just after 12:30 this morning. Fire officials say about 20 employees were inside that building when that fire initially broke out. Police at this point releasing very few details about the employee who was arrested.
And Ontario police now saying,
wow, that is crazy. See, the citizens are getting fed up, man. They are truly getting fed up. And it's gonna break free in America first. Second Esdras 16 and 40. Oh, my people, hear my word. The days of trouble are at hand. Days of trouble are at hand. The days to really link in with like-minded people, the days of linking in with the Creator, the days of consecrating ourselves, it's at hand.
We have very serious news right now. According to the Associated Press, at least 182 people have been killed in central Beirut in Lebanon following the most intense day of strikes by Israel on the Lebanese capital to date. This is a striking image taken by Reuters. As you can see, this is a building that was struck by Israeli forces, a building that is decimated, and in the center is a woman literally clinging on for dear life. As you can see, very little room for movement. Any closer, she would have been in a part of a building that has collapsed. This is a very serious situation. The United States of America claims that Lebanon was never part of the ceasefire negotiations between the United States and Iran, and that it was always only the United States and Iran, had nothing to do with Israel and Lebanon. And yet, Israel is ramping up attacks on Lebanon today. The United States is essentially green lighting it because they say that this has nothing to do with the ongoing ceasefire in Iran. I'll have more updates for you soon. As always, follow along for all the news you need to know about.
Yeah, that was one of the shortest ceasefires I've ever seen. One of the shortest ceasefires I've ever seen. Now that we see what's going on in the news, we are going to see what the people in the streets are talking about. Y'all know how we do it. First, we evaluate what's breaking in the news, and then we take it to the streets and see what people are talking about. And I want everybody to get the likes up on the video. Let's pump this truth out there. Let's get to it. Everybody is talking about a possible draft right now. It's getting real.
Hey, TikTok family, how's everybody doing? Y'all, I think I'm beginning to let this bullshit get to me. I have been feeling so damn down today. Okay, every time I turn my TV on or social media, they talking about how people are being treated with this TSA and this damn war. And now he's talking about making people enlist in the military and shit. This is some bullshit. It's irritating. It's sickening. It's just truly sickening because every fucking day there's something happening in this administration. And the sad part about it is, ain't nobody in the goddamn universe trying to do anything to stop this damn monster. And that's just sickening to me, because I never thought that we, United States of America, would have a dictator. I'll be honest, I never, ever, ever thought that we would stoop so low till we can't even manage our own country, that a white man would take over and try to and become a dictator and want to, ruin the people, ruin the country, and put people into bondage and prisons and all that shit, and put their own ICE agents out there to kill and destroy people's lives. I never, ever, I'll be perfectly honest, I never, ever would have thought this in this country. Yes, I believe in the slavery. Yes, I believe in African American being treated wrongly. But we worked on ourselves for many, many years. A lot of us have just gotten to a point where we can rest assured. And then here come this white motherfucker deciding, it ain't happening. So, a little frustrating. But as you know, we don't have the option to stop. We don't have the option to lay down. We have to keep it pushing.
That's right. We got to keep it pushing. And we have to be proactive more than ever. We have to adapt to the times. You know, this was bound and destined to happen in Babylon. And I really want to read something for you. Wisdom of Solomon 5:1 says, "Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness. When they see it, they shall be troubled." Meaning everybody is really going to be troubled seeing us stand in great boldness. That's what's really troubling. You think that we're troubled seeing what they seeing? Pardon me, let me say it this way. Do y'all believe, I know that it can seem troubling seeing what we see, but the Most High been keeping us, haven't he? We've been surviving. You want to know who's really afraid right now? Those who see us standing in great boldness no matter what they've done. Those people are really petrified, because they know the children of God are standing firm and strong in power. And we're proclaiming that their destruction is our uprising. They're afraid of that. When we speak with boldness and clarity, although all hell is hitting the fan, when we telling these people we got next, that y'all so psychotic, y'all gonna self-destruct. When we tell these people we chopping at the bit to rule the world how it should be ruled, they are afraid. We don't have no fear. This may be perplexing what we see, but we bold as ever. And that's the part that really bothers a lot of these devils and demons out here in the world. We got them running scared because of our faith. Yeah, we can sit up here and talk about what's going to happen, but we standing in great boldness. We know what time we in, and I don't know if y'all ever read the Josephus War of the Jews, but right before Jerusalem fell, there was a lot going on. You had signs in the sky. You had internal division among a lot of the people, which we see right here in America. The leaders was deceiving the masses there. And it was violence inside the nation itself. That is the real threat right now. So what does that mean for God's people? We need to be set apart. There's people in your life that you got to get away from. And a lot of the times it'll be people in your immediate circle. This is why daily I put up videos reminding you and giving you clarity when it comes to people you deal with every single day. Because when everything hits the fan, those are the people who are going to be problematic. Not what these damn devils got going on overseas with their bombs going back and forth. These idiots are going to destroy each other. The question is, where will you be when the pressure is on? Because pressure is going to expose people for who they are. When times get desperate, then you're going to see who is who. in your everyday life, in your everyday goings. And then you're going to see who the devil is in your personal life. And some of you already know the people who don't belong there. You just got to cut them off right now and get around the right people. Remember, the Bible says, without godly counsel, the people fall. Look at what these scriptures tell us in Daniel 12:4. It says, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. That means you're going to have people scatterbrained, running to and fro. Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to move. I don't know this. I don't know that. But hold on, but knowledge shall increase. Daniel 12:4, it says, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. So guess what that means? Information overload. You got AI, constant movement. People getting overwhelmed, but they're not getting wiser. You notice that? People getting overwhelmed, but they're not getting wiser. Why? Because they're not reading these scriptures. Or the things they choose to really entertain themselves with is not really picking them up. That's why the Bible says a lot of people will be what? Ever knowing, but never finding the knowledge of truth. So the strongest people in the times to come is those who have a strong, sound mind, those who are moving with logic, those with deductive reasoning skills, those who can observe, discern, and pay attention to what's going on and be logical, not moving in fear, but people who are on an even keel with the Most High, understanding what time we in, and rightfully divide the word. That's who's going to be rising up to the top. See, we living in a distraction society.
The greatest manipulation strategies in human history started in ancient Rome, and it never ended. It only became more sophisticated.
The biggest distraction strategy started in ancient Rome. This is how they rule societies, with this information overload. We got to watch this real quick.
Rulers discovered something very powerful. If you keep people fed and entertained, they will never question power.
If you keep people fed and entertained, you will never question power. What if the whole time we were the ones in power? But they put everything in front of us to dwindle our frequency so we couldn't create real change. What if the whole entire time we had 100% power, but we allowed the bread and circus to actually stop us from manifesting our gifts and our strengths in real time? What if the whole time we had it in our souls? See, this is the part they don't want us to understand.
So they created a political strategy called bread and circuses. Massive arenas were built across the empire. Thousands of people gathered inside enormous stone coliseums. They watched gladiators fighting to the death, men with swords and shields.
And that's what they do with sports. NFL, NBA, boxing, online beef, even the war to a degree is bread and circus to a degree. It's actual prophecy. However, it has become something that can be considered entertainment if it's not properly facilitated, weighing it through the parameters of the Bible.
Battling in the sand. And while the population was completely absorbed by the spectacle, political decisions were being made behind the scenes. Taxes were imposed on the population. More power was concentrated in the hands of emperors and elites, and laws were passed that protected the ruling class while the people remained distracted.
See, they're distracting us while they're passing different laws, while they're placing more taxes on the people, while they're, making millions and billions off of the oil. They're trying to keep us distracted. And it's nothing new under the sun. The same thing that happened in ancient Rome, that's what's happening in America. Ecclesiastes 1:9. The thing that have been, it is that which shall be, and there is nothing new under the sun. This was written already. History just simply repeats itself. This was already written. It already happened in ancient Rome, and now Babylon, America, is the new Rome. And it's happening all over again.
The crowd was watching the arena, while the system was quietly being shaped around them. Now look at the world today. We don't have Roman arenas anymore. We have screens.
And they then redirected our attention, got us off the Epstein files. Imagine these predators are consuming children, raping them, torturing them, consuming them. We're talking about the biggest trafficking ring in human history, with the most connected people, with the most millionaires and billionaires, world leaders. Imagine now the war is the #1 search. Imagine that. How they could just flip a switch with bread and circus. How they could just snap their fingers and change the entire trajectory of what we talking about. That's power right there. And this is why we have to keep our minds focused. Hebrew Care, thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Proverbs 22:3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. That's right. And the mass majority want to ignore what's going on because for them, ignorance is bliss. However, if you're prudent, you can see what's going on. You can sense it. And you're going to move different. You're going to plan different. And that's what we got to do. That's what believers, real believers should be doing. But the church is not telling us this. The churches are not saying, hey, listen, we need to be preparing. Imagine having millions of followers, these huge cathedrals packed with churches. Imagine having churches all over the country and worldwide. And they're making all this money hand over fist off of holidays or holy days. They're making all this money off of tithes and offerings, but they're not putting a plan in motion to really substantiate something where the people can move out of danger, out of harm's way, because the evil is coming. Why? Because they're bought and paid for 501c3 tax exemptions. That's why. They can't do it. They've been to theologian seminary schools and they've been compromised. That's why the Bible says it's a famine of the word. That's why you got to be grateful when it's a select few, because it's only a select few that ain't been compromised, that put their lives on the line and speak this truth. Because we're supposed to be entertained with nonsense constantly. They really truly don't want a message out there that's going to truly empower the people. So it's up to us to spread the word. And honestly, doing what I do, that's all I ask is y'all spread this word, because this is the truth.
Football, reality shows, influencers, endless social media drama. While people are arguing online or obsessing over the World Cup, wars are happening. Entire countries are being destroyed. Massive scandals about powerful people appear in the news. Corruption, abuse, things that should shake the entire system. And yet, a few days later, everyone has already moved on to the next distraction.
Exactly. A few days later, everybody's down to the next distraction. A celebrity gets shot. Offset got shot. All right. Do you know how many people got shot in Lebanon yesterday? Matter of fact, let's take it a step further. Do you know how many of our people are getting shot every single day here in America? So why is it that we are so easily distracted? Because they have subverted the conscience of most Americans. And that's why there's no real pushback when it comes to what's really happening.
I guess the system learned something a long time ago. A distracted population, an easy population to control. And when the mind is constantly distracted,
a distracted population is an easy population to control. That's America.
It loses the ability to see the game.
And when the mind is controlled, it loses the ability to see again, to truly see what's going on. That's why you got to give Most High praises that y'all are even gravitating towards this type of material. Y'all got to give the Most High praises that you are able to actually receive these messages, because the mass majority, they don't care about this because they're distracted. Hosea 4:1 says, there is no truth nor knowledge of God in the land. By swearing and lying and killing. Right there, that's moral decay. It's corruption on the highest level. There's no accountability in the land. Why? Because exactly what these scriptures say. There's no truth, no knowledge of God in the land.
Those who cannot see the game live only as characters within it. The greatest prison isn't physical, it's mental. But there is a way to step out and restore mastery of the game. We created a protocol called From Ego to I Am, a practical 30-day process to
see, we don't even need their process, because God's people already just stepped out of the game. We just stepped out of the matrix they tried to put us in. And that's why we can break down everything that's happening in society, things that we're not even supposed to see. Them scriptures tell us exactly what it is, man. Amos 5:18 says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. It is darkness and not light. When the Most High come back to a lot of these people claiming Christ, but really not down, it says it's going to be a dark day. You know why? Because there's too many people complicit. There's too many people complicit with what's going on in the world. Too caught up in the matrix, low vibrational conversations, too caught up in drama and gossip, too caught up in hearsay and nonsense but then they claim, they with the Lord, they with Christ, but you gossiping about your brother. Oh, you in the Lord, you saved, you in the truth, but you gossiping about something you don't know a damn thing about. Oh, you in the truth, you with the Most High, but you disrespecting and gossiping about this brother because you think he owe you something. You don't even know the situation. You don't know what's going on. That's how people be. Oh, that person just made you feel a certain way. You don't know nothing about him, but you talking about him, but you in the truth. But nothing you doing, none of the fruits they're producing proves to be anybody in truth. Backbiting and gossiping and slandering and lying and believing everything they hear and being pushed to and fro with information, having a spirit of debate on them. It's going to be a dark day. When Christ returns, for a lot of people, it's going to be a dark day. It's going to be dark. Very dark. Telling you now.
For the ones that have been crashing out about what's been going on around the world, complaining about gas prices going up, this war that's happening right now, and other fear tactics that they are continuously creating. They've been doing it for millennia, for a long time, and wishing things would just go back to normal. Nothing is going back to normal. That old timeline is done. The old system is crumbling for a reason. This planet is going through a huge transition right now. It is necessary. With all these things happening, it needs to happen. It's necessary for most of the world that needs to wake up right now. For the ones that say that they want to go back to the way things were, that's like saying, I don't mind being a slave to the system. I don't mind paying for bills. Nothing ever made sense the way we lived our whole lives. Just think about it. We've been living in this ghetto-ass world, this prison planet, that we've been incarnated here many, many times. For the ones that do know heavily about this, you know, and for the ones that don't believe in this, because some don't want to believe in incarnation, and that's okay. That's up to you, whatever you want to believe. But just think about it. We're not supposed to be living this way whatsoever. We normalized it. We accepted it the way things were. But now that system is crumbling. It is on its downfall. Like literally, it is falling apart. And that's the most amazing thing. And for most that don't believe in what's about to happen, they think that, oh, we're going to be controlled even more here and there. It's like, no, that was the old system. The one that's coming in, that's upon us right now, it's going to be the most amazing. It's going to be the most amazing system ever, should I say, in the most simplest language that I can speak of.
See, that's what I'm talking about right there. I know y'all tired of these bills. I know you tired of this disgusting food that's out here. I know you tired of the chemtrails. But guess what? This system got to fall for the new system to come into play. A system where God's people will rule. You know, you got to look at the global influence that Babylon has had. Go to Jeremiah 51:7. It says, Babylon has been a golden cup. The nations have drunken of her wine. And it says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. If the Most High was going to heal this place, he would have did it. Because of Babylon, corruption spread it worldwide. He has to judge the evil of this place so it can usher in a new system. And what do you got to do? You got to go to the root. You got to go to the root of the problem. Those who have placed us in cargo slave ships and placed us in captivity, they're the root of the problem. Yup. Hebrew Care said it. We're supposed to just watch and pray and move accordingly. Do the things that we're supposed to do to prepare, such as repentance. Preparing your family, your household. But, you know, a lot of people, they holding on for dear life to this place. When the book of Nahum 3:1 says, woe to the bloody city, full of lies and robberies. Woe, beware of the bloody city, Babylon, for the violence, deception. Lies built whole towns and cities. Lamentations 4:12 says the kings of the earth the kings of the earth would not have believed that the adversary should have entered. See, the kings of the earth, a lot of them are delusional. And they would have never believed that the adversary actually entered when this collapse happens. 2nd Esdras 5:8, there shall be confusions, friends fighting against one another, and men shall hide themselves. That's what's going to happen in these times. That's what's coming to Babylon. Scriptures, listen, it was already written, y'all. This is the whole point I've been trying to prove this whole video. It was already written. Everything that we see right now, it was written. Truly was.
The West actually produces nothing, but they take credit for everything, just like with colonization. The Western world has built its global prestige and its reputation on the central myth that it's the home of excellence, and that this excellence is a byproduct of their unequaled freedom. That Western societies are the pinnacle of quality, of craftsmanship, of innovation and refinement and so on. And all of this because they have so much liberty and so much freedom. So creativity and excellence thrive, right? Brilliance and hard work. All of that flourishes in the great sunlight of Western democracy. Meanwhile, actual excellence is outsourced. The only thing that you do is slap your label on what others make. You slap your logo on things that are made by the people who you demonize, who you disrespect, who you denigrate, who you look down upon, who you call peasants. Everything about your success is actually made possible by people who you call losers. The only thing that the West excels at is branding, taking credit. Your whole economy is a scam. A logo, a stamp, a label, and then they inflate the price 1,000-fold. That's what you make. You make logos. It's not a system of productivity. It's a system of appropriation. It's an economy of logos.
And this is the reason why you see all these stores being shut down. Whole malls are being sold. Everything we see right now is just a shadow of what America used to be, because it never really owned anything. It never really owned anything.
It takes what others produce, stamp their name on it, and then sell it back to the world at an obscene profit. That's not excellence, that's fraud. This is a pattern that repeats throughout your so-called society, your so-called civilization. From Elvis Presley singing Hound Dog to the crown jewels of the British monarchy stolen from India. You're that dumb jock who puts his name on a test that he paid someone else to take for him. That's America. It's like how you buy a $5 coffee that's 80% foam. You're literally paying for the privilege of drinking from a cup with a logo on it.
Right. And then a lot of the stuff that they're selling is killing the people. Let me say this real quick. They have found some creative ways to wipe us out without us knowing it. I don't know if y'all heard about that lawsuit that just took place with Starbucks. They had some type of chemical, some cancerous chemical in their coffee. Everybody going to Starbucks in the morning, grabbing them some coffee and getting ready for the day. Like, these people are evil. I mean, they're finding any way. Also, I heard that a lot of them vape pens, they saying, and I'm going to say allegedly with this one, but I hear there's a lawsuit on the table, is what they saying, that them vape pens got fentanyl in them. They say they putting fentanyl in the vape pens, y'all. It's like, damn. Now we wonder why some of them people be getting them damn vape pens and they be tweaking the hell out when they don't got them. They can't go on a road trip without going to that gas station. They can't drive 30 minutes without stopping to get that damn vape pen. Is something wrong with that? It's like we're living in a system that insists on trying to take us out. And people want to talk about being un-American. You guys are un-American. What the hell? They kidnapped us. They kidnapped us and brung us over here against our free will, against our will. Incarcerated us, enslaved us, did all kind of heinous and barbaric things to us. And then even now they haven't gave us any reparations for what our ancestors endured. And then to add insult to injury, these MFers trying to poison us every damn day. And you want us to be American? That's why I believe one of the worst things you can be is a coon. I think the Most High God hates those type of people, because those are the same people who crucified our Savior. The Roman Empire did. And if you remember properly, Christ was speaking against the Babylonian system. He was speaking against the so-called elite and globalists. He was speaking against the Roman Empire. He might have said, render what Caesar is Caesar's when speaking about taxes. But Christ never told us to be have an American spirit where we just sitting there praying for America. No, the Bible says, give Babylon double what she gave you. You got to look out for them Uncle Ruckuses. A lot of these damn, what do you call it? Black Republicans, respectfully. Black MAGA or whatever the hell they calling themselves. You got to look out for these imbeciles. Them the people that will turn you over like they turned Christ over. Those are the ones that will turn you over just like they turned Christ over to the Roman Empire. Because Babylon going to burn. Ain't nothing you can do about it but get your soul claimed. Let me see. Real 80 says, in Iran 10-point plan treaty, they said they want reparations and believe U.S. will honor it. Sick, right. U.S. ain't honoring nothing. They don't honor their ceasefires. They don't honor any deals they broker. They don't honor nothing. And they haven't even paid the slaves back. They haven't even given us our 40 acres and a mule that they promised. They promised us 40 acres and a mule. Yeah, the turncoats. I dare you niggas hate Babylon. Why y'all don't have an American spirit? You wouldn't have no cell phone, no flat screen TV. You should be happy to work in a white man's land, niggas. Uncle Ruckuses and coons and Sambos and turncoats. I know the Most High hate them people. Because just because somebody look like one of us don't mean it's us. Those are the same people who turned Christ in. That's how they are. I can't get with them people. Yep. Somebody said you sound like Uncle Ruckus. Yeah, I do a good Uncle Ruckus impression, but don't get it twisted. It's just an impression. I'm gonna have to look up that 10-point thing that Iran was asking for. That's crazy. Let me see. Actually, I could pull that up. The Iranian 10-point peace plan. I got to see this. Oh, man, I got to see this one. Hold on. Let's play this through and I'm going to get to that.
How fake is that?
Okay, yeah. How fake is that? Babylon is nothing but fake. Let me pull this up real quick, y'all. Matter of fact, Yep. Y'all know we got the sources. Y'all know we got the sources. And so let me read these here. Guarantee that Iran will not be attacked again. Failed. They ain't doing that. Let's just read them down. Permanent end to the war, not a ceasefire. End to Israeli strike in Lebanon, right? It's right there, number 3. Israeli did what? Struck Lebanon. Lifting all U.S. sanctions on Iran. Into all regional fighting against Iranian allies. Iran would reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Iran will impose a $2 million fee per ship transitioning through Hormuz. Iran would split these fees with Oman. Iran would establish rules for safe passages through Hormuz. Iran would use Hormuz fees for reconstruction instead of reparation. Wow. So they wanted reconstruction. Look, America's not honoring that. America would never honor nothing like that. Never. And this is the reason why they got what's coming to them. Wisdom of Solomon 17. Great are thy judgments and cannot be expressed. The Most High's judgments are great. We can't even express how great the Most High's judgments are. While coons and buffoons are trying to hold on to Babylon. Look, if you see what the Most High has been doing so far and how he's been tactically lighting this place up right now, you know he's great. Most High is making mighty men cower within, man. Talking about kings of this earth cowering right now at what he's doing. Most High on a whole nother level with these people. Hold on. The famine is on the way in Babylon. Straight up. Straight up. All right, that sound is a little bit too harsh. I really can't even hear that right now. But he's talking about in 3 months how it could be some real oil problems, right? But I don't like how that sounds.
America is just so fucked right now. And it's so scary because so many families can't even feed their families, and gas prices are absolutely insane. I can barely afford to feed myself. There's children and families being broken apart because of the way that our government is set up. And I don't feel like there's gonna be anything done. And it's hard for literally everyone I know right now to be living because they're either stressed about their family members or stressed about how they're going to afford to feed their children or feed themselves and stay in a house. And we have to continue going to our 9 to 5 every single day. And who's going to do anything about it if we're all at our 9 to 5? And there's no backup plan. It's not like anybody discussed, like, hey, the leaders of America are eating children. Like, maybe there should be a backup plan. And it just it feels like shit. It just feels like shit because all I can think about is the fact that like there's nothing we can do right now. And like, yes, we're protesting and yes, we're saying no kings and no war, but it doesn't change the fact that they're gonna do what they want. There's always gonna be another person that's just as evil. Like, I don't know. And then I wonder, like, people from other countries, like, are they seeing this and just realizing like, I don't know, is it better in other countries? I don't even know at this point because I don't trust what America is programming us with. And TikTok and social media, it's filtered. Like, we're not even hearing the full story, even if we can talk about it. Like, I don't know.
See, even middle America, they've been betrayed. They feel in a certain way. They thought that the dream would stay alive. They didn't expect it to go down like this. The wise men of old, the biblical patriarchs, as well as a lot of brothers who had the foundation from some years ago, decades ago, knew that this was coming. You know, we've been speaking on this for a number of years. We knew that this was coming. They didn't expect this. And it's going to get worse. I mean, the scriptures tell us in Revelations 9:18, it says, by these three was the third part of men killed, by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone. Look, what this Bible is describing is massive destruction: fire, smoke, brimstone. You know, this ain't no small scale stuff it's talking about. What's going to happen in this upcoming war is going to have global impact, straight up global impact. Revelation 6:8 says, power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death. The reality of the situation is that's what it's going to come to. That's not thus saith Nubreed. That's thus saith the Most High. It's right there in the scriptures. And we've been knowing this for some time, that war, famine, and death would spread. The book of Zechariah 13:8. 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. There will be a mass loss. Only a remnant survives it. The Bible already said that a third of mankind gonna get wiped out. That's not a small event. That's not a local situation. We're talking about globally. And when you look around at what's building up right now, with how the countries are positioning themselves, you got to ask yourself, are we getting close to that? Are we getting close to that? A lot of people are going to go for hunger. All of the movies where they show you like Book of Eli, all of that is real. The movie, The Book of Eli with Denzel Washington, it's going to look something like that. It's going to look something like that because these billionaires, they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop. And the people are going to continue to be distracted by bread and circus. The people are going to continue to be comfortable. The people are going to continue to ignore the word. But guess what? That places us at an advantage. Because while everybody else is asleep, the time is now to stock up on certain things. The time is now to invest in yourself. The time is now to make the right moves to position yourself. The time is now to really get involved with a strong network. Or are you going to be complaining like this?
I'm just genuinely so horrified, and it's getting to the point that I'm constantly thinking about this. I'm constantly thinking about how I'm going to survive, how my family can survive, how my friends, and like I want to go travel. I want to go travel the world. And how am I supposed to go travel the world if I go somewhere and then, oh, like our president decides, oh, let's bomb that place, and then I'm a prisoner of war? Like, isn't this supposed to be my 20s where I'm supposed to be having fun? Why is the world going to shit?
And I understand her plight. I get it. But, you know, over here, you know, we try to bring some direction. Y'all know that I talk about a lot of things that's going on within society. But, you know, I also like to share opportunities with y'all because there's ways of not only surviving, but actually excelling through all the midst of this. Because remember, the scriptures tell us that when we leave our captivity, we'll be in great substance. You know, we don't necessarily have to struggle continually and be worried and all of that. We don't have to do that. But what we do have to do is we have to be proactive. We have to be proactive. So, you know, I have a myriad of things that I do. Hold on one moment. And I want to share something with you all. Y'all know that the young lady, she just spoke about traveling. I am in the travel business. I want you all to be able to have an understanding of travel as an insider. So right there is a QR code, and you can scan this QR code, join the business, and understand that in the future, that the regular 9-to-5 rigmarole may not be able to hold you the way you need it to. A lot of older people, they're going back to work. Retirement is not enough. Social Security is not enough. And I present this opportunity for you to actually invest in yourself. Instead of booking your travel through booking.com or whatever other travel site, imagine getting paid to book your own travel going somewhere, meaning you can receive some commission from that. But not only that, be able to help other people start a business and travel. You know, the Bible tells us that a traveled man availeth much wisdom. So I personally believe, this is just my personal beliefs, that we should not be stagnant through all of this. We should find unique ways to be able to network with each other and navigate. Don't let the fear of the world keep you trapped in one place and stagnant, because that's what they want. So what I've been doing is building a team of partners, and we all support each other. We have meetings every Thursday, 8 o'clock Standard Eastern Time, and we help each other in this travel business. So if you're interested, scan the QR code. It gives you all the steps you need to actually do something proactive. Now, of course, I'm not saying it is the solution, but it can be a solution for you personally. If this is something you're interested in, you know how to get to it. Now, I say all of that to say this, ladies and gentlemen, the time we living in, I want y'all to know, hold on one moment. It was all written. It was all written. There's nothing new under the sun. So we see these scriptures just jumping off the page. We just went through a litany of scriptures just now. We went all through the Apocrypha. We went through the Bible. We went everywhere. And it's clear that these raving lunatics are not going to stop at anything until society is completely crippled. So we have to network with like-minded people. We have to link up with people who have a like mind. And that's what it's about. So, you know, I want to just thank each and every one of y'all. It's time to network, man. You know, if you got people in your life that you're not sure about, man, you may want to move accordingly. Got to do what you got to do. Everybody can't go where you going. Everybody just can't go where you going. And I'm gonna say this. I've had a lot of initiatives that I was involved with. I've done a lot of things in the past that I noticed I ran into a problem, and it was always finances, because I'm not a millionaire. I'm not rich. There's a lot of things that I would like to do that I think would be beneficial for the people. However, with this travel business, the difference is we'll be making money together. And I thought the solution would be, and the reason why I got involved in the travel industry is because the solution would be to everybody. The solution would be making money together, opposed to trying to do some massive fundraiser or try to, you know, get government help or government funding. I said, you know what? No, I just need a strong team of people. Listen, if we can have just 50 people with a strong mind who ready to do the hard work, we can all eat and we can all bring the dream to life. And that's what I envision. Having a few families that's saying, you know what, we can all get on one accord, and we don't have to go to the government for money. We can do this on our own. Travel the world, set up different opportunities and businesses for our people without no outside help is what my dream is. And if you can see yourself being a part of something like that, where there's strong leadership, then definitely I'm the person that you should be working with, along with my constituents, peers, brothers, friends, and family. Brothers, sisters, friends, and family. So, you know, it's always an honor building with y'all. Man, we got so much in the works. Y'all gonna be seeing a lot of movement, because we're not gonna be stagnant because of what's going on in the world. Anyway, somebody says, what can I do to contribute? Well, if you like to contribute to the work, you could do that two ways. Number one, the Cash App. The Cash App right here. Matter of fact, I don't know if it's Nubreed Global Truth is the Cash App. I don't know if that's the right one right there. I believe it is. Yep, Nubreed Global Truth. You could just scan the QR code, or just Nubreed Global Truth exactly as it's written on the channel. Or you can go to nubreedglobaltruth.com and get you some merchandise. You know, we got a lot of featured merchandise. You know, cop that Hebrew Heroes. You know, this goes a long way so I can be able to make the moves I need to make. You know, a lot of the things that I want to get done, you know, it's a lot of expenses making the moves I got to make. So, and if you just appreciate the content, you can support that way, as well as support HebrewCare.com. Support HebrewCare.com and get your natural products. But I want to thank each and every one of y'all. Blessings to everybody. This one has been very important, a very important broadcast. I want y'all to have a safe evening. Y'all stay blessed out there. More material coming, y'all. Shalom. Peace.